My first question is, what are your members telling you about this and how concerned are they?
Well, Vietnam's success has largely been built on the back of political and economic stability. The country went from a very low level of economic development into being one that's integral in the global supply chain. And I think people were caught by surprise by the activities that took place last week. That said, very quickly, these riots and unrest came to an end, and the government's been taking pretty strong and decisive action and really helping restore investor confidence by making sure people know that this type of activity is not going to be allowed again, and that people can count on stability as they invest here. So right now, even though we had a lot of companies and our members that had supply chain and business interruption, people are figuring out workaround. It's important to remember that these multinational companies have very sophisticated business strategy and supply chains, and if there's disruption in one place, they try quickly to figure out how to move it around so that ultimately products still get on the shelves for consumers.
Well, you know, with this move of the Chinese evacuating something like 3,000 nationals, I mean, then, of course, people must be worried about what they do there and look north, and that is a concern. Perhaps the Vietnamese don't have it in their power to stop an escalation here of this crisis.
Well, the Vietnamese people are very passionate about their territorial integrity and their culture and their country, and so people are worried about this territorial dispute between Vietnam and China. That said, I mean, this dispute is certainly not new. The countries have a fairly strong relationship with each other and an integral relationship, and they're going to have to find a way to work this out so that activity can continue as normal. I mean, your average Vietnamese person is still very much striving for a better standard of living for their family, and that's pretty much what people are focused on day to day.
Adam, what happens next then? That's the question.
Well, there are challenges for the government here. A lot of factories were damaged and destroyed. And so, you know, number one, the government has to keep taking steps to bring back investor confidence and to repair its image. Number two, they have to get back some of these skilled workers and managers and others that left. So there are issues about, you know, visas and work permits. There's equipment and raw materials that needs to come back in quickly and not get held up in customs. There are tax and reparation issues. And so there is work cut out for it. Everything is not just going to resume right away to normal. But most of our members have reported that while there were shutdowns for a few days, mostly out of caution, things are getting back to normal. People are working around their supply chain issues. And ultimately, the fundamentals haven't changed here. Vietnam's a country of 90 million people with a rising standard of living. It's well located, and there's a lot of people that find ways to do business here, whether it means making shoes and clothes for the American market, or whether it means selling, Budweiser and lipstick and potato chips and General Motors cars and other things to Vietnamese people who are all focused on a better way of life. And so things are going to work out fine. There's just a little turmoil to deal with in the near term.